Okay, I know I just uploaded a solo flawless, solo titan run of Grasp of Avarice just a couple of days ago. One phasing both bosses. It was like an 18.5-minute run. And I thought, hey, that's about as good as I'll be able to get. I'll just upload it, stick it on YouTube. However, I still hadn't got all the armor that I wanted, which the reason I was running this was to farm for that. So I kept running off stream and I recorded this run, which is even better. It's like sub 17 just. So like a minute and a half quicker than the other one. So I thought, well, you know what? Why not just upload that as well? The other one was a clip taken from my stream, and it was quite late. I was quite tired. I wasn't really saying much. So I figured I would just play back this one and give some commentary while I did. Just maybe someone would get something out of it. I don't know. Opening encounter, I'm on line rampant because it's the same loadout that I use for the Fallen Shield server encounter later. You have to have 3 waves of enemies from the loot cave to progress. So for the 3rd wave, I just come in there so that I can start depositing while I'm collecting the last few. It seems like the wave spawns are tied to killing the ads outside as well as not being in the loot cave. So that's why at the start I go in, then backtrack to the entrance, kill as many as I can. But on the way in, from the very start of the dungeon, I try to make sure I throw my hammer and kill some of the acolytes and the wizard out the front as quick as possible, because that does seem to speed up the 2nd wave spawning. This stuff, classic, just eagering around with line rampants, that helps a lot. This one I think I messed up. Yep, hit the ledge. If you do that properly, like I did on quite a few other runs, you can sort of get into the roof of the cave on that corner and it bounces you straight down much quicker. I should also say, I'm not really a speedrunner. Like, proper speedrunners will look at this run and be like, what's the big deal? Like, sub 17's like nothing. I haven't even looked at what the world record is or anything, but it's definitely quicker than this. I'm not even using the most meta stuff. Obviously, I think Prismatic Titan with Truth probably kills final boss in one phase even more efficiently. I just like using different things, trying to build craft my way through them to make them more sort of quick and clean and consistent while I'm farming, because, you know, playing this game, it can be fun sometimes if you don't overthink things. So yeah, this skips with line rampants here saves a lot of time of having to go into all the side rooms. I just make sure that I've got some form of restoration before I do this jump here. So ad in front of me, I just hammer. If not, I'll just use my healing nade there. But yeah, I'm not a proper speedrunner. I don't really pay much attention to speedruns. I watch the occasional one when I'm just like, wait, how did they do it that quick? And then I see some sort of crazy tech, you know, with oobs and, you know, well skating or shatter skating or something. But like, I just like running the dungeon fairly normally, but just trying to like do skips where I can with eager and rocket jumps and trying to optimize damage enough to do it in like low amount of phases, which on this dungeon, because it's one of the old dungeons before they went crazy with boss health, it's pretty chill to one phase. Ogre is pretty easy to one phase with this setup, and final boss I did need to make do some slight optimizations to be able to secure the one phase, which is where the swap to Path of Burning Steps comes in. If you've seen the other run already, like I just watched this back before I started recording to do the commentary, and I actually couldn't tell like where I had saved that minute and a half. I'm guessing there's just like little saves all the way through. But I kind of thought in my head like, oh, the Fallen Shield server encounter, that must be where I saved all the time. But just watching it back now, I was like, that wasn't even, it doesn't look very quick. Like the strat that I have changed between the previous upload and this upload for the Fallen Shield was using the gizmo a lot more with unraveling rounds, so that I can ad clear more effectively between that and the trace rifle and the sword, as well as storing up extra engrams to then take with me to the next place, which I don't think I was doing much, if at all, in the previous upload. And to be honest, on this run, I wasn't even doing much of that either. I don't know where this time save came from. Just one of those things. I just had a godly run. But yeah, for this, using a mint with hatchling and chain reaction, that just helps clear out all the ads quick before I even get to them. So all I need to do is run around and pick up the engrams. For damage here, I'm going to try and make sure I get max stacks of roaring flames, or at least ×2. obviously for the super damage, because I'm going to swap to Pyrogales. I'm running Laurelies for running, just for extra survivability. Obviously, if I go weak, it just drops my barricade, makes a sunspot, and I get resto. So I got 25. That's exactly how many you need, because I don't want to be spending too much time at the crystal. And then, because when you have Roaring Flames, the unpowered melee becomes a powered melee, and you can extend Roaring Flames. So I'm now at ×3, so maximum damage with the Pyrogales. And then swap to Path of Burning Steps, because while you have Roaring Flames, which I'm going to extend with a Swarm Nade, so I'm not using Healing Nade at the bosses. While you have Roaring Flames ×3, solar weapon damage is increased by 12.5%, and ignitions are increased 25%. You can one phase on this Ogre without doing the swap to Burning Steps. You see I got 3 shots of 1k left over, but I swapped to the Fusion. I'm just using Eremite with Controlled Burst for extra damage. I swapped early just so that I would have sword ammo left for a few Eagers on the way this bit, and also after the Sparrow. Not really much to say about the Sparrow bit. Just hit the buttons, go through the mines, you know. So I guess I'll talk a bit about the next encounter, the Fallen Shield. So yeah, I don't use the cannons at all for moving around. I just use Gizmo with Bipod, so it has 2 in the mag, as well as dealing less self-damage, which is pretty big, because you can quite easily kill yourself with a micro-missile frame otherwise. And Eager Edge, as well as Strafe Lift and Line Rampants, just so I can extend those directional jumps as long as possible for when I have to do a really long jump across. And yeah, the idea is go in, leave sunspots as often as I can, like near spawn doors, so as enemies are coming out, they just walk straight into the flame, the sunspot, and die and leave the engrams. And then I go to the other side and use the Gizmo with Unraveling Rounds, as well as the Trace, which has incandescent, as well as the sword, to just add clear and just zip back and forth, collecting up the engrams. Then normally I'll try and get like about 10, and then try and soak them in the crystal while more ads are spawning, and then all those ads come to you kind of thing at the crystal, and that can save time as well. But on this run, like, obviously if there's ads in front of me, like, you might as well just kill them and pick up those engrams as well before dunking. And sometimes on other runs, not on this one weirdly, on other runs I'm able to just quickly get like 30 engrams, and then you just jump on, deposit 20, get the immune shield off the servitor, and then take the remaining ones, you know, the remaining 10, over to the next platform. But that didn't really happen much on this run, so I don't know why it was so quick, but it just was. Also, it's really bad to start at this one. Because of the multi-level and the, like, river underneath, the engrams can, like, fall out and go on the ground, like, lower down, and then you have to, like, waste time jumping down and back up again. Great hammer throwing there by me. Again, I don't know why this one was so quick. But yeah, trying to do a mix of weapons, pick up as many as I can. Yeah, I hate the ad spawns on this particular platform because they sort of come from all over. But yeah, I've got 12, 13. I'm just going to deposit these while I'm waiting for more ads to come out. I'll just need to get like 7 more, I guess. Again, amazing at throwing my hammer. Skipped straight over those engrams. Alright, so this will be enough to break it. But on other runs I've had, by this point where I'm depositing the last, there'll be like an entire other ad wave waiting next to me. So I'll push this into position, shoot the cannon, and then just clear up those ads really quickly and take them straight to the next platform. Because if you don't have any left over, you basically, it takes a little while to build them up once you get there, because all the ads are spread out or they haven't spawned yet. Pretty good RNG on the platforms, this one being the next one, so I didn't have to waste too much time traveling. That's probably where a lot of the time save came from, actually. It was good RNG of the platforms. But yeah, this one as well, I'm kind of going back and forth all over the place, not very efficiently, really. It's funny because I've had much better fallen shield encounters. At least it felt like they were better in other runs that either weren't flawless or had, you know, I got scammed at final boss or something, so I had to do 2 phases. Looking back at this one, I was a bit like, yeah, this one doesn't feel particularly great, but I don't know. But yeah, here I might as well pick these other ones up. The problem with getting like a low amount is getting off in time and not standing too close so you don't waste any extras that you have on you. I jumped off early because I got confused, I think, by the sound. So yeah, I get off and I just instantly lost it. So there was no point in me picking up those last 2 anyway, you know. If you're really good at paying attention to that, you can kind of jump off early so you keep any spares. That one often falls off the edge there. It's really annoying. So the gizmo is actually really good for being able to like redirect it at range. Oh yeah, I also had this terrible jump where I didn't really get a rocket jump. But yeah, little jump, rocket, lift to get some extra height, see where the next servitor is. It's over here. I could have actually gone straight there from the previous platform. I didn't need to go up. I just hadn't seen the servitor yet. So this one is pretty good. If you put a sunspot here, then the next time you come back here, there'll be like 8 engrams on the ground, which is pretty good. And then back here just in time for that wave and the captains, which is pretty good. So yeah, this platform was much better. And in an idea, yeah, I accidentally let those ones blow up. So I think my thinking was I'd get on here and then there'd be another ad wave spawn before I break the shield, because once the servitor shield comes off, more ads won't spawn. But it turns out that more ads had not spawned, so there's only one little guy waiting there for me. So get that. So I've got two extra ones, which isn't really much of a time save. But again, I got quite lucky with the next platform being that one. I don't know what I was thinking here. I ended up getting stuck there. Again, like, why was this the run that I got a sub 17 on? I don't understand. Because, like, I was looking at other uploads that people have made. There's quite a few people who, like, the week that a dungeon is featured, they'll upload some solo flawless runs of it. Because, like, presumably people are searching for it because they're looking to farm as well and looking for, like, you know, optimal strats that they can copy. And most of them were, like, around 18 minutes. You know, which was kind of on par and faster than the previous upload that I did. You know, no one else was getting, like, 17, at least not that I'd seen this week. Even using more meta stuff at the bosses, you know, using truth or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the boss was pretty clean. I saved a little bit of time there, final boss. That one getting stuck there happens all the time. It's really annoying. Then take the cannon straight over to finish. I hate jumping up these as well. Like anything in this game, you're having to climb up a gradient, like a slope. It sort of keeps pushing you back like that. You want to get on that little box, because if you try and jump straight up, you'll hit your head. Alright, so I start on Pyrogales, just so I can take out the high-value targets. I think I'm at 160 super, because at damage phase I'll have surges for double super font mod. Obviously I don't have for this, but it's good enough just to kill these guys pretty much instantly. Some tech, make sure you get away from that guy before he dies, and then go in, and then you pick up all the engrams instantly. If engrams spawn on you, it doesn't let you pick them up, and especially in that spot, they can roll off the edges into the water. So you want to back up and then go in quick, get them all, and then you can just dunk the first 10 without having to... so that means you don't have to pick up extras later, which is obviously a time loss. Started this one just because it was the closest side to where the cannon was. which is fine. There is a strat I do for like which platforms I do for the second and third drops, which is that I only want to do mid and right from now on, because I want ads on the right hand side to still be alive, because when those engrams blow up they can kill everything on there, which is fine for that first set, because I obviously didn't go pick them up, because more will spawn, but now I want to make sure they stay alive. And because I'm running Laurelies, I also have to be really careful that I don't get to critical health and drop a sunspot, because that will just wipe out the entire side. So like here, I'm going to go all the way over here and kind of back up to try and avoid being damaged, which I failed. I took loads of damage, and here I very nearly got critical, so that was quite lucky. But I got 50, so with the 10 I dunked originally, that's 60. Go here, place barricade for Laurelies, get some restoration, pick up the cannons, make sure you hold this as long as possible, because you don't want the next cannon vandal to spawn, because that can be in your way for damage, especially because I'm using 1k, and if he runs in front of me then that'll kill me. Prep Roaring Flames, get a hammer kill on one of them, and then a couple of unpowered melees. If you only have Roaring Flames ×2 here, that's actually fine, you can still one phase with this strat, but ×3 is optimal. Withering Gaze to apply debuff, slam, and then swap to Path of Burning Steps, hammer for Radiant extend, and then throw Swarm Nade to extend Roaring Flames. The Roaring Flames actually did run out, but luckily there were 3 ads there who died to the nade, so I have Roaring Flames ×3. But yeah, ×2 will also kill. This is a bit sketchy, because as he flinches and walks backwards, he can fall off the platform into that middle bit, and if he does that, that can prevent the one phase, because he like glitches out and teleports back up. But yeah, 1656, mini throwing hammer, healing nade just for opening and fallen shield, Roaring Flames, Sol Invictus, Solace, Empyrean, Ashes, Torches, and Burning Maul obviously for Pyrogale. So this is opening and fallen shield. Gizmo Weft with Bipod, Acacias with Incandescent, that works really well with Harsh Refraction on the artifact. Silencia with Eager Edge. I like the wave Lion Rampants. Those are the mods. Artifact on this one, I'd say for Fallen Shield, Unraveling Orbs, and Harsh Refraction, the only ones that really apply. I deliberately am not using Horde Shuttle, because I don't want loads of Threadlings to spawn, because if I'm keeping ads alive until I've got the Servitor Shield off so that I can kill them quickly and take those engrams straight to the next platform, I actually don't want the Threadlings going around killing everything too early, because then they'll, explode and I won't be able to pick them up. Then for bosses, running Loadout with Laurely, Mint, Hatchling Chain Reaction. So that does have Horde Shuttle with Unraveling Orbs, so that Threadlings can go around and clear each side room at the Ogre quicker. Same Acacias, obviously 1k. Laurelies just for survivability. Mods on that. Pyrogale Loadout with Lotus Eater with Withering Gaze. 2 super font mods to get me to 200 super. I have the Solar Surges on, but obviously I'm swapping to Burning Steps next anyway, but I had this on originally. You can still one phase Ogre if you just stay on this loadout with the Solar Surges. You only need the Path of Burning Steps to one phase Avarokk at the end. And yeah, Path of Burning Steps, increased damage of solar weapons and ignitions based on the amount of Roaring Flame stacks you have. And at ×3, it's 12.5% to weapons and 25% to solar ignitions. So that's a huge increase. And that's why I'm on the Swarm Nade on my boss loadouts, so that I can throw them at nearby ads. Oh, and I forgot to mention the armor set, just 4-piece Nessus Exodus down on all the loadouts. Basically, because I've neglected my Titan, I haven't really been playing on them much until this week. So Exodus down's pretty easy to get and pretty good, like all around, like neutral set for giving some damage resistance, which you don't normally get on solar, as well as picking up Orbs of Power and ammo bricks whenever you get weak. So yeah, other armor sets probably better. I don't know, but you don't need them, so whatever. And that's about it. Leave any questions in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one, which will not be another run of Grasp of Avarice, thankfully.